vibrant city of Nanjing, China, there resides a remarkable young girl named Mei. Gifted with an extraordinary mathematical mind, she can effortlessly solve intricate equations in her head and possesses an impeccable memory that allows her to recall any series of numbers she encounters. One fateful day, as Mei walks home with her friends, her life takes a dark turn when a group of men abducts her. She is taken captive by Han, a notorious leader of the Chinese mafia. With his criminal operations under constant surveillance, Han seeks to exploit Mei's unique abilities, intending to use her as his human calculator to memorize sensitive data that can't be stored digitally. Initially defiant, Mei resists Han's demands. But when he threatens her mother's life, she's forced to comply, her spirit crushed under fear. Under the watchful eye of Chong, one of Han's most trusted men, Mei is smuggled to New York, where she's hidden in plain sight. Meanwhile, in New Jersey, we meet Luke Wright, a former cop turned underground cage fighter. During a rigged fight he was meant to lose, Luke accidentally knocks out his opponent, sending him into a coma. The victory costs him dearly. The fight's promoter, Emil Dochesky, the brutal head of the Russian mafia, loses millions in bets. That night, Luke rushes home, but it's too late. The Russians have already murdered his pregnant wife in retaliation. Grief consumes him. Then comes an ultimatum. If he ever befriends or even speaks to anyone again, they'll kill that person too. Shattered and alone, Luke drifts into homelessness on the streets of New York. A ghost of his former self. A year later, Mei continues her forced service to the Chinese gang, memorizing financial data for their shady businesses. Her abilities make her invaluable, but she's growing weary of the life she's trapped in. One night, while staying under Chang's care, a woman associated with the gang tells Mei that her mother has died, a devastating blow that breaks what little hope she had left. Soon after, Han himself arrives in New York. He gives Mei a paper containing a long series of numbers, a code, and orders her to memorize it. She does so in seconds. To ensure secrecy, Han burns the paper immediately. Only Mei now knows what it contained. But their operation is interrupted by the Russian mafia, led by the same man who destroyed Luke's life, Emil. They storm the hideout, killing most of Han's men and kidnapping Mei. Meanwhile, Luke's miserable life continues. One morning, he's beaten by corrupt cops who remember him from his days as an officer, men he once exposed for working with the mafia. They mock him, hand him a gun, and tell him to end his life. Luke refuses and walks away. At the same time, Mei is being interrogated by Emil. He demands to know the numbers she memorized. When she refuses, one of his own accomplices, the woman who lied about Mei's mother, is killed before her eyes. Mei realizes her only chance of survival is escape. That's when fate intervenes. A New York subway station. As Luke stands ready to end his own life, he spots Mei, terrified, running from the same Russian thugs who killed his wife. Something inside him snaps back to life. Luke fights his way through the gang, taking them down one by one in brutal Statham fashion. That he rescues Mei, but she flees, scared and unsure if he's a friend or foe. Luke pursues her through the chaos of the subway.
Disposed of it.
And soon learns that corrupt cops are also after her, planning to hand her back to the gangs. He intercepts two of them, knocking them unconscious and proving that his silence all this time was not weakness. It was restraint. He finally gains Mei's trust, and the two escape in a stolen car as a massive gunfight erupts. Luke drives through Manhattan in an intense chase, dodging bullets, smashing cars, and outsmarting both gangs and police. Once safe in a hotel, Mei tells Luke the truth. She memorized a combination to a safe. Luke realizes the numbers match a pattern. Two safes, one belonging to the Chinese mafia and another possibly held by corrupt officials. But before they can act, Chong and his men track them down, storming the hotel. A violent shootout follows. Luke takes down several attackers, but amid the chaos, Mei is recaptured. Desperate, Luke makes a daring move.
Back inside.
He calls Vasily, Emil's son, the man who murdered his wife, pretending to have the combination. Vasily takes the bait and arranges a meeting at a casino. Meanwhile, the city's corrupt mayor meets with Captain Wolf, a crooked cop and Luke's old superior. We learn that Luke wasn't just any cop. He was an undercover CIA operative embedded in the NYPD after September 11th, sent to clean up organized crime. When he exposed the department's corruption, he was betrayed and cast out. Back at the casino, Luke ambushes Vasily and his men, taking them hostage. He demands answers from Emil, who reveals that one safe holds $30 million in cash, while the other, belonging to the mayor, holds a data disk with detailed records of every criminal syndicate in New York. Luke prepares to use this information to rescue May. Luke strikes that he storms the Chinese hideout in a ferocious gun battle, eliminating every gangster in sight. Then he retrieves the $30 million and kidnaps both Captain Wolf and Vasily, using them as leverage. With the money secured, Luke heads to the mayor's office. He demands the second safe's contents, the disk. The mayor has no choice but to hand it over. Luke knocks him out cold and leaves with the information that could destroy half of New York's power elite. He meets Alex for a final exchange, May for the cash. But Luke has no intention of playing fair. As Alex prepares to draw his gun, May shoots him first, wounding him. Luke finishes the job, taking May's hand as the building burns around them. The end. Luke gives Captain Wolf $50,000 to disappear, releases Vasily to prevent more bloodshed, and sends Han a portion of the stolen money to keep him from hunting May again. Luke then hides copies of the incriminating disc across New York, a safeguard to ensure their protection. Film's closing moments. Luke and May drive toward Seattle, leaving behind the chaos of New York. Both have lost everything, but together they find something neither thought they'd have again: